right, let's start this thing. We're going to 2,000. And stuff should be getting harder now. At least that's the anticipation. We'll get people who know at least a line against what I'm doing here. I guess there was people who knew lines before, but maybe we're going to start getting people who have faced this and have thought about it. I think. Let's go. A lot of people in dojo think like, we're already at 1900. They think you got to be super deep or something. So far, no one's done anything super deep here as black. And oh my God, this is my opening. This is my opening, boss. Oh, man. Okay, I never know what to do here. Let's go H4. Can't be wrong. Yeah. And now let's go H5. Let's go F4. Is it spicy? Yes, it is. I'm just going to bring out my pieces, bows. Wow, this is the Al Teacher special, man. Look at this. Okay. This is actually, it's hard, man. It's my own opening, dude. What am I supposed to do? This is a little hot. Man, it's a little hot for me. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. I don't know what to do, my friends. I go. Jeez, that was too long. Go. Now, if he goes going knight f6, I'm going to pop him, and I don't know if this is going to work. I have no idea. I just know that the beast is loose, man. Yeah, for sure, b4 scares me the most. But he's got his own health problems here. All right, here we go. Now if he goes knight d5, did I blow it? Oh my gosh, I don't think so. I think I'm okay. I'm not sure about knight e4 actually. Okay, wow. Now knight c5 is a move. Knight c6 is a move. Knight c6 makes a hell of a lot of sense. Could he magically play knight d5? Knight d5 is really hard to believe, man. But maybe you never know in these positions, man. You never know. The madness at this level of position, incredible. I just don't believe in knight d5, but there he goes, that one. And now I think knight b6 is very strong. Whack! I'd surprise us if that wasn't game right there. Yeah, it looks like game. Man, that was an intense opening, dude. Damn! All right, where are you going, boss? Just make sure nothing weird happens. All right, now can I play bishop d3? Signs point to yes. Don't castle short, buddy. Wow, that was an intense game, dude. That's the thing I've been doing as black. The funky monkey, man. And I didn't have a response either. I really didn't. All right. Now, I was claiming that this was winning for me, and maybe I'm the jerk face here. I might be the jerk face. Oh, he did it that way? That wasn't it, boss. Boss! For such a fancy opening to then get mated on d8, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right. All right. Now, I'm going to briefly consult my Lee chess study here. That was real, man. That was real. By the way, I think what we're doing here, this is Braden. We got a guy named Braden. He's really into the speed run I'm doing, and he's just doing the white openings. And so he'd cut what I'm doing here. Maybe he shouldn't cut it, but anyways, that's what he's been doing. Here we go. My studies. Oh my God. So much aggressive repertoire. All right. Boom. I called this file perk and friends. So bishop e3. No, I didn't do it that way. Yeah, I put in 4 h4. So I did do h4 intuitively, but this is one maybe I haven't practiced enough just because I'm not, what are we doing here? So knight c3, d6, bishop e3. Oh, I guess I did it right. No, I did it right. No, here though, here's where I should have played, according to the El System, to play h4 immediately. And then exactly, it's because it's unclear if the queen needs to be on d2, right? It's unclear. Whew. Sombrero wants to play. Let's go. He wants to face it. He's probably been studying it up. He's got his own thing, man. Oh no, he's already all booked up on this. That was really bad for my heart, dude. That whole thing that we just did. I mean, that was so intense. There we go. Let's see. Knight g7 is the human move. GF is the weird computer move. That is not the move. All right, Kraai. Slow it down a second, please. So, snip. We're definitely, well, I was going to say definitely with the knight. We don't have to, I guess. But it certainly feels correctamundo. So here we go, knight. And then bishop f5. I don't know what else you're going to do. And then I'm on a castle boss. Oh, maybe I should play d3 so that on knight e7 there's bishop d5. He's listening. He's listening to me right now. It's not very fair. Let's castle. So, right, does he have Castleovich problems himself? Now, even though I think this is probably inaccurate or whatever you want to call this for black, it's definitely worthy of a question mark of like, is this playable? All right, my intention was just to take this bad boy and ask him which way does he want to take back. All right. All right, so a couple choices. I got d3, bishop g5. There might be some world in which knight g5 works. No, knight g5 got to work for queen d4. d4 is a weird move, but it would really develop my pieces quickly. Could he play bishop takes check? Knight takes. Phew, that would be intense. You know what, boss? I'm just going to do it because that's the nature of... it's the nature of the opening. Hello. Hello, Cartier Tonk. I don't know. It feels like the fluid nature of we need to bust you before you castle, son. That's what it feels like. Is it correctamundo? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not so correctamundo. We're going to find out. He says, he's like me. He's like, boss, I think I'm just going to go for the bad endgame. Thank you very much. I think I'll just go for the bad endgame. I'm cool with that. All right. Bishop g5 is also kind of interesting. However, no need for that. Now, does he have a way to convincingly fight back? I was thinking that that was an advantage. That's what I was thinking. Oh, he's coming at me. There's no doubt. Okay, this is actually very complicated. We're going to call this very complicated. Now that might have been a weenie move, my friends. All right? I'm going to go ahead and concede. Concede at least an ounce of weeniness. Kraai, did you just do that, boss? I was supposed to play bishop g5. I wasn't supposed to do that. Check to the miserable rook. Do I have an advantage still? Maybe a tiny touch, but I really did. It might still be kind of significant, actually. But I did play like a weenie. There's just no way around it. And there's a dude on here named Renga who's like, Kraai, you're always playing this aggressive repertoire like a weenie. And we are not going to take it anymore. You know? I have sympathy. I have sympathy. All right. Sombrero plays to get his knight dominated. Let's ask him a question over here. Just a question, Sombrero. Just a question, boss. It's not meant as some personal thing, Mr. Sombrero. No, no, no. No, it isn't, Mr. Sombrero. Good move, I guess. Now, I was just going to take this thing. I was just going to take it, boss. I was going to take it. It was like, well, we need ourselves some pounds. Pounds. Good move. All right, I'm going to go back. This is spicy. He's right on the edge of maybe having enough play for El Pano. Oh, that wasn't it, boss. Or at least, I don't know. Maybe you got an idea here. We're about to find out. Okay. Mama said, rook to the d5. I'm just going to admit that I blundered bishop g4, but luckily I had bishop f7 on that move. So it was okay. It was okay. Sometimes you got to trade down to the boring endgame, Renga. Sometimes that's just what he gives you. I don't know what that move does, but let's bring the Bishovsky back. Oh, he's had enough. Check to the miserable king. That's all she wrote. Check. I don't know. Let's march him. Check. Good game, Sombrero. Let's look at it briefly. So, this move is not a move I've concerned myself with, but it's an interesting position. And the reason not to believe in it is right here. For black, it seems like there's a problem. Now, let's take a look at it here. I'm going to grab it. And then we'll put in an analysis board. PGNOs, whack. Okay. So feels right to me, and I'm assuming that on Queen E7, Rook E1 is an advantage. Even there, maybe like the computer could find a way to defend with Knight E5. Hard to imagine. Let's just say it's very hard to imagine. Okay. Now, I think this was a reasonable move. And my intention was to say that bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes, pawn takes. To say that after bishop g5, excuse me, my position would be amazing. And I mean, I at least have compensation, but is it the stunner? It looks good. It looks good. Is it winning? Maybe not. Maybe it's just an advantage. And a lot of times, when they play a weird move like d5, it feels like, part of me feels like I should knock him out, but then part of me is like, well, maybe it's just maybe it's just an advantage. Okay, so he did a good blitz thing. Is when you don't know what's going on, default to development. And let's say the obvious. I could have played d3 here, but then on castles, the question is bishop g5 anything? I don't think so, because then he's got h6, so that's why I need that extra tempo. So I think d4 is potentially an exclam move. And we get this position, and here I blew it, because I got lackadaisical here. So my original intention here was bishop g5. So if we imagine bishop g5, and my concern was snip. It's a dumb concern though. Rook takes, bishop takes, and then rook somewhere. Well, maybe if I don't crack him on the d7 square, and I don't think de doesn't. It's hard to believe too, because he'll cut me. So yeah, that was a legitimate concern. I guess I could have also played queen c7, rook c7, bishop e3, and honestly, well, now you lose your b2 pawn, boss. So maybe even what I did was correct. I don't know. All right, I'll tell you what. Because this is a opening, I don't normally want to go over these games. If I was going over it deeply, I'd look at it more on the real board. But I'm going to turn on the computer just to see what it thinks about this d5 move and to think about what it says I should have done. It actually says black is better, dude. That would be the end of this variation, dude. Maybe in fact Sombrero had done like his computer prep, dude. Maybe he had done the computer prep and he's like, f5, that's no good, you play d5. Hilarious, dude. So let me just say, this variation's been around forever, and at least I was never aware of the move d5. E takes. Let's look. I took knight takes, and it wants b5 like a crazy animal. Dude, Sombrero probably turned on his computer and did this to me. That's probably what he did, but he didn't remember that he had to play b5 here. Oh, this is a legitimate problem if d5 is available to black after f5. Oh. I gotta say, of the whole aggressive repertoire, this variation has been the most difficult. So all these little nooks and crannies where maybe black is surviving with weird moves like b5. Oh no. Sombrero just made it up, man. Sombrero just made it up. Well, this is worthy of further. I got to do further investigation. Put that on your list of things to do, boss. Sombrero's early d5. Oh, man. Whew. That's really kind of a problem, boss. That's really kind of a problem. All right. Now, one thing, too, is I just turned on the cheap computer here. And let me just briefly tap into the beast. Because I checked most of these computer lines. The weird thing is, of all the lines I'm doing, the one against the Sicilian even though I believe in it, the computer is not fully clean on it, man. So let's just see what the computer says for a second. The real one. It'll probably be similar. D5 is one of the top 3 moves. Okay, so here's what it says. It says D5, and then it says ED, ED. I'm going to give it a second here. It is less optimistic for black than the chess.com computer. But it's saying basically equal. But the trick is that the natural human move, knight takes d5, is indeed met with this b5 nastiness. This is a real problem. It's so rude to just play d5. It's like, I got it covered, boss. I got it covered, man. What are you doing? I've had so much grief with this, dude. So, it's saying, first of all, with Sombrero's bishop f5, that black is equal, which is already upsetting in itself. But then with this magnificent b5, it's saying I got to play f6, which nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to do that. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, that's a real problem. The other thing about it, too, is it's so simple. It's such a simple move for black to play. I'll just tell you guys a little story. So we're working hard on this aggressive repertoire for a long time, okay? And the problem has always been the Sicilian variation. In particular, what's weird about it too is like, it's only knight c6, g6, which is very popular. And then one thing to do on bishop g7 would be to play Eugene's weird a4 move. Ooh, it drives me insane though, because it's not a developing move to play a4 here. It just like breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart, man. Bishop b5 is the old school move, or rather, bishop c4 was the original idea in the 80s, 70s. People played this stuff. Bishop b5 was the newfangled version, but then knight d4 comes, and A, it's not as aggressive, and B, it's just kind of equalish, you know? And bishop c4 f5 is definitely like the aggressive repertoire kind of thing to do. And as long as it would just be playable, then it would just be fine, man. You were advancing the theory. Yeah, that's right. He is refuting me on the fly. Now, let me just say, the computer here likes GF. And then I went down that dark road and with the computer, and I looked at Leela and all kinds of stuff. Actually, here, let's do this. Let's turn Leela on first, just a second, on this d5 position. So I went down the dark road, and Leela was like, nah, boss, Stockfish is exaggerating. So I'm going to put in Leela here. Let's just see what she says. And it's got to be said, f5, you know, to a certain extent, is breaking the principles of chess. So that d5 is conceivable here is not ridiculous. Leela's, she's a funny creature, man. She's not showing me her lines. She's not showing me her things. Why not play like a total mindless system guy and go bishop b5, d3, queen e1 without thinking? Because bishop b5, knight d4, and then you got to do some thinking. But bishop b5. And maybe, dude, maybe I'll go watch Eugene's course and like, it's weird though. He's got some weird computer ideas, you know? Yeah. Oh, wait a second, my friends. Here we go. Here we go. Leela's genius, dude. Okay. Leela's genius. Let me show you guys what she's considering. I knew she would consider something awesome for us. Okay, on d5, she's like, boss, let's play FG. Let's play FG, boss, and see how Sombrero likes it. All right, so then DC. That's the only thing we're worried about. GF. King F7. Yes, it's in check. I see it. Oh, this is spicy. Because, again, the idea of the aggressive repertoire is not to get an advantage according to the machine. The idea of the opening repertoire is to get a madness on the board as soon as possible and raid your opponent. That is the intention. Okay, so, Kraai, what's going on here? Where's my board? Can you bring it back, boss? Oh, it's being a jerk. Okay. So let's look at it now. FG, DC. We're just going to let this... Leela's kind of crashing on me a little bit here. It might be... If I crash in half a second, we know what happened. It was Leela taking over my computer. And DM Hokie got me a fancy computer, man. It's big and strong. It lifts weights, dude. But it... Leela, buddy. Come on. Well, maybe I have to do this when I'm not streaming because it's just frozen. All right, let's try this one. Oh, darn it. Okay. So, can we move boss? Can we move? I don't know, man. All right, let's put it... Let's do this. I gotta control alt delete Leela, dude. That's how bad it is over here. Okay, wait a second. Sometimes you control alt delete and it's like, oh, maybe I'm alive. F7's like, oh, you're gonna control alt delete me? Maybe then I'll... No. We gotta end it. We gotta end this task here. All right. I'll tell you what. We'll look at it with the cheap computer just for a second, but it looks interesting. So let's say we castle. Cheap computer says it doesn't like it, and it wants to play King E8. To my eyes, the interesting question is just, do we have interesting compensation? I think the obvious is that knight f6 will lose to e5. The pawn on c4 is unfortunately a great pawn for the guy. That's actually, if anything, I'm concerned about. It's that. We only got one pawn for our troubles, man. All right, I'm going to investigate that a little bit more. Unfortunately, I can't turn on the nice computer right now or it'll just blow up my machine. Let's keep going. Play. No, Sombrero, man, he made a contribution to the theory. All right, here we go again. Now they're all going to hit me with it. And the truth is, there's so many other systems I could do. Like, I could just play d3, bishop e2. I could do other things. But here we go. If he plays d5, I'm going to be like, this guy's watching my stream, man. All right, good. Kasilovich. I go d3, thank you very much. I go here, thank you very much. This position is definitely hot. I'm pretty sure I now play bishop g5. Now I gotta watch out for some weird like. Well, there's. Let's take. I'm not sure. I don't like that move actually. What he did. Because now the pawn takes. Okay, if you want to play it like that, son. Okay. I'm just system moves. System moves, my friends. System moves. Bishop f6 maybe at some point. Very simple play, right? Now, knight e2 would have also been interesting. He's got, let's call it a simple positional problem where he needs to activate the bishop on b7 before he gets mated, and the knight on e7. Now, taking on f6 was problematic because now that brings in my other rook. Can he do something about it? All right. Now, queen f2 was my intention. That's a big threat, boss. That's a big... No. Now, does he have knight f5? Did I blow it? 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 I might have blown it, guys. I might have blown it. That might just been a... That was... I blew it. He's got knight f5. Kraai. Can you just move a little slower? Boss, just a little slower. Oh, it was like he wasn't going to find it either. All right, let's go here. Am I sorry? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I opened up his bishop too after talking all that smack about how we're not going to open up the bishop. What did I do? I opened up his bishop. Unbelievable. Okay. I need some good moves here, friend. All right, I like that as a start. Maybe rook b8. And then we'll think about knight e4. Okay, knight e4. The position is hot. How much worse am I? Maybe that's your question, Kraai. How much worse are you, buddy? You definitely have some comprehension. There's no doubt about that, okay? You got some, but that was probably not it, boss. That probably wasn't it. That probably wasn't it. Okay. This guy's coming at me, man, like a spider monkey. I didn't want to open my position here. This is awful. Man, oh, great. Just great, Kraai. Just great. I thought that looked suspicious. Now, what degree of lost am I here? You want to push my king up? You can do it, boss. You can push my king up. Well, the game might not be totally over. Man, okay, he's saying, Jesse, you can come up, boss. He's saying, you come up. I don't think that was healthy. Check. I think you got to go H8, boss. And whatever you do, Kraai, don't play. No, all right, I can make a little stinky draw. I can also go king g5, though, is a really evil move. Because I've done my mate in twos. Maybe rook d8, then I'm going to play h4. Oh, that's not very nice. Don't take on A2, boss. Whatever you do, don't take on A2. Yeah. Okay. Who's better and why? We're about to find out. I am. I am. Sorry, boss. You played a good game, man. All right? You played a good game. All right. Let's just make it easy on ourselves. Game over. All right. What do you want? What is it you want? My phone is gonna run. Yep, boss. I've seen this one before. Yep, boss. I've seen this one before. Yep, boss. I've seen this one before. Well, again, I had some grief in this variation. What happened? What happened, boss? So far, so good. I didn't believe in what he was doing. I think I blundered something tactically here is what happened. So, me and Altitude had looked at some other, there was a game of it similar where the guy played b6, which I think is better than this because here the c5 pawn is incorrect. And this move doesn't feel right to me at all. That feels right. Okay, what happened? I just blundered that I blundered the bishop f. I blundered the thing. Okay. This is correctamundo. Oh, cry, many cry. How did that happen? All right. So that was correctamundo. And now we need a good move. Bishop f6 still might be a good move. Bishop h6, maybe? Sometimes in these positions, there's like weird rook f7 stuff, you know. Now that I'm looking at it, like maybe bishop h6, and if rook, let's say d8, maybe actually rook f7, maybe. We're going to stress the maybe in that part. This was still probably correct. And now I just needed to pull it back, boss. Boss, you need to pull it back. You need to pull it back, man. Frustrating. So yeah, rook f4 here. And then I was my blunder. And then I was lost and I somehow won. As an improver, what's the best way to study opening? Get into Chessables, read books, take the Magic Dojo course. One of the great things about the dojo is we tell you when to study openings. And so if you're new, let's say you're under 1200, you shouldn't be doing openings at all. People don't like to hear that. They're like, Kraai, what are you talking about? But we've seen it on the speedrun too. It's openings. No, that's not the issue. And here, let me just say, I always want to say something in defense of myself. This opening stuff I'm doing, it's mostly for fun. It's definitely interesting. There's some interesting positions. But definitely the blitz part of it is fun. I didn't play blitz for, oh gosh, what is this? I didn't play blitz for a year and a half. So I was like off the sauce, you know? All right, here we go, boss. This is a funky monkey. This is spicy. All right, I'm pretty sure we want that now. I'm gonna go here now. Go here now. Now that his bishop's on e3, e5 can't really hurt me because, whoa, I'm just going to pop you, son. Are you going to pop him? All right, can you think about your poppings before you do your droppings? All right, let's go. I didn't think too long about it, did I, boss? All right, I told you. I said I was coming in at d5 if you did it. I want El Bishovsky. Can't move him. I'm hitting c3. Oh, that's an ugly move. That's an ugly move, boss. All right, here we go. Mama said, put your rooks on the open files. All right. She said, bring in your knights. He's got a knight on B1 problem. That's what he's got. He's got a knight on B1 problem. Yep. Well, he's trying to fix it. Okay. That's my sign, I think, to play something like CD. Oh, I could also play B4. It'd be kind of evil. Dr. Evil here. Let's go. One way to lose at blitz is just to move too slow. So we're going to try to avoid that today. Whack. Oh, he gave it to me. I don't know about that, boss. I don't know about that. He's saying he can hold it all together. Well, Fanny, let's bring in the guys. Queen E4? I don't know what you're supposed to do here. I can just play knight F4, you go Queen E4. That's man, when your position starts getting holes in it, it's not so pleasant for a peasant, my friends. Chris C, thank you for being here, my man. Chris C is working on his game. And honestly, you know, if you are a new improver, I was thinking about this earlier today. Well, what's going on here? It would not be a ridiculous idea to hire Chris C to teach you. And Chris C might say, oh, I'm not that good, yada, yada. But for Chris C, it would be a great experience for him to have to explain different ideas and such to somebody else. I think I'm going to take check first because I'm a greedy dude. Because I'm a greedy, greedy dude. Check to the miserable king. And hopefully Chris C wouldn't be teaching you openings. Hopefully. He might be teaching you openings. No, he wouldn't. He knows better. Well, boss, that's kind of the end of the game. That's kind of the end. He don't know no openings. I come in. That wasn't my only square. I could go to B2 as well. I don't know which one's better. Let's go. B2 is kind of annoying. Let's go B2. I think A5's a threat. I'm gonna try to not to hang my queen here. That's gonna be goal number 1. Now I told him that A5 was a threat, so it wasn't like a dirty trick because I just told him it was gonna happen. I presume that was also a threat on Queen C3. And forget about it. There you go. There you go. Put your pieces on the good squares. That's right. That's funky monkey stuff, man. Yeah. We had our talk the other day. Dojo talks about what the dojo aggressive repertoire for black could be. And the other senseis, they were like, boss. They were like, boss, I don't know how we feel about your altucher funky monkey thing. Okay? We have misgivings. I understand where they're coming from. Of course, I get it. I get it. There's just no joy in this position anymore for the dude. No joy at all. Yep. Now the knight's pinned, though. Pin and win, my friends. Pin and win. Yeah, I understand. Okay. They say bring your rooks out, so that's what we're going to do. I almost hung my queen. I didn't do it, though. Well, boss, let's just do that. Is it sad that I get it to trade his thing? A little bit, but his bishop on F5 doesn't have a lot of love. And, oh, boss, that wasn't it. Whack. He's had enough. All right, boom. Let's keep going. Dojo aggressive repertoire. So far, it's paring me down. It's paring me down. Okay. Okay. C6 should be my default move. All right. So can we go back to the default? El defaulto of the Bralto. A little weird, Kraai, a little weird. All right, pop him. Pop him. Well, despite the only good thing so far is I haven't used any time. That was incorrect for him to take, I think. He should get them to play bishop d3 instead. Now I got a good Carlsbad, I think. A good Carlsbad structure, thank you very much. I can adjust my seek range. Okay. But it would also get me, I mean, it's just weird, right? That it's, I assume it's a random thing that I got the first couple games being lower. All right, how should he play it? I'm going to play my knight here, obviously. Knight on c3 is weird because he has to defend d4. Okay, I think I understand. Let's just bring our guys out, because that's what Chris C said. He said, just bring them out, boss. Just bring them out. Oh my God, bishop g5 could make my life a little complicated, honestly. I'm not sure I'm ready for that kind of complications this early in the morning. Kraai, I wish you hadn't played bishop f5, actually. Actually, well, no, okay. I take it back. I got it. At least I have an idea. At least I have an idea. Against bishop f5, I think knight b4. Ooh. Okay, so he's saying what? My bishop's going to be trapped if I go bishop b4? That's what he's saying? Is it true? I don't know. Let's pretend for a second that it isn't true. Oh, he wants that way. Boss, but your d4 pawn's hanging. And your king's a wreck. What have you done? What have you done, T-Tail Mako? What have you done? I'm going to go naked. Hopefully I haven't blundered anything. He says I have. I don't know. To me, it looks like these are some monster minors with your weakened king side. Knight f3 on the cards. I guess I could have already done it. Maybe I should have already done it. No. Knight f3. Okay, bows. Check to the miserable king. You might as well, bows. You might as well. Check to the miserable king. All right, buddy. So he wants to g5 me. I'm just going to get out of Dodge. I'm not going to play any of those fancy games. I'm just out of there. Now, I guess, actually, that was inaccurate. Okay, I'm going to admit it, because he has that move. And a more fancy move would have kept my pin. Why couldn't you just take on c2, boss? Can you explain that to me? Can you explain why you just... I don't know. It's because I felt guilty about missing rook d3. So I was like, oh, because of my guilt, I have karmic shame, and now, I got to deal with my problems. All right, let's go back. Knight f4 was also pretty good, boss. I don't know what's wrong with you today. All right, I don't know. Well, check to the miserable king. Let's bring in the dog. Ow, ow, ow! Mate is coming. A friend called mate. That's it. Ah, boss. Ah, boss. This guy, they don't resign these days. Not like they used to. Check to the miserable king. Oh, God. He's not giving up, man. Check to the miserable king. And then somebody's going to get mad at me, rightly so, if I don't mate him. If I don't give him the Polgar mate. They're like, Kraai, you did the whole video, man. How come you can't do the Polgar mates? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. All right. Where's your mate, Baus? Talk all that smack. Where's your mate? Protect your knight. Talking so much smack. Good move. My queen's trapped. Check to the miserable king. This is a little bit obscene. Oh gosh, Kraai, can you not deliver mate? Check to, no, it's not check. You'd think I'd find a mate around here somewhere. Now this is starting to look like mate. Whack. He's had enough. All right, we're gonna get our whites here. We're gonna go dojo aggressive repertoire. Oh, we're not getting our whites. We'll get our string of whites. This has been branded the brass monkey by Seth. Wow. Hey, the theory these days is really advanced. I don't know, man. Now here's a good question. If he just goes queen d1, how bad is this position? He's messaging me that he mouse slipped. Accept the draw? No, we're not going to accept the draw, buddy. The game's not over. Play f3 or something. You're fine. You're fine. The game's not over. You're fine, boss. It's just, this is better than the Bon Cloud. I'll tell you that. It might be more embarrassing than the Bon Cloud. This is like the Queen Bon Cloud or something. I don't know. But your game's not over, boss. I don't know, man. Maybe he was watching that Fisher 960 and he was trying to castle the queen. I don't know. Now he's back. Good move. Good move. You're fine, boss. You're fine. All right, let's develop, because Mama said. Good move. See, you're fine. You're fine. Now, here's an interesting. I think he is in trouble. He's in trouble. Again, it's not over. It's definitely not over. I think b4 is a threat. Okay. All right, let's do our b4 move then. Let's just bring our clowns around the mountain. Okay. Good move. See, he's playing good moves. He is playing good moves, my friend. He wants a knight c4 in my face-o. In my face-o. All right, let's go here. Whoa, boss. Bows. That wasn't it. Yeah, all right, we're going to do this. And Mama said the bishop a6 was a strong move. You know what, though? Okay. All right, let's bring... Oh, if I bring the knight around, he's got knight d5. This game isn't over, son. This game isn't over. Ooh, see? See? He wanted to resign. It's not time to resign, kid. Still plenty of life in your blood. He doesn't deserve life, but this is what he's got. See, I don't know. The knight d5 thing is truly annoying. How did this happen? All right, here. Pop. Good move. You probably maybe turn the computer on. That would get me. That would get me. I have problems here. Oh. All right, let's go. I don't think taking was correct, Amundo. Unless he's got knight f5. That would be very painful. All right. buddy. This is actually a very spicy moment for Jesse, okay? So leave him alone. Leave him alone. Knight f5 is not a pleasant thing for a peasant. Uh-oh, Kraai. This is more spicy than I cared to admit. Right, here we go. It's hot. I'm actually going to put the king on an aggro square and see what he does. The heat is on. I think he's lost. That's what I think. That's just my professional opinion here. The heat is on. Because his rook on g1 ain't doing nothing. I'm about to play rook d8. I told you I was playing by rook d8. That's what you deserve, son. That's what you get. Whack! That's a hell of a drug right there. That's got to be a mate threat. That's got to be a mate threat, son. Check to the miserable king. Check to the miserable king. Checkmate. Now, Pruess, he's a master. He doesn't have to do the mate in twos, okay? Us mortals, we got to do it. Put it in our heads. Let's go. That's true. I haven't been extracting the adrenochrome. They got to be over 1800 though for me to get the adrenochrome. All right, here we go. Welcome to the dojo. All right, Kraai, how does it go? Bishop g5. Thank you very much. Hello. Okay. Good move. And this one actually, is kind of something to remember. That's not it. Okay. Nice castle. All right, so the knight is coming to f5. So if knight f5, I want knight g3. Trading his one good piece off. There we go. Okay, very good. Good. Now, what is El Evaluazione here? Are we clearly better? Are we winning? He needs to do something fast on the c file. Maybe knight b8 right now. Knight b8 would be a good move, I think. And then I need a good move, my friend. Weird. Weird, I don't get it. Let's go over here. Interesting. Okay. Let's make an invasion force. This is gonna get hot. Kraai. It's not simple. It's not simple when he takes. What do you got? I think that was a mistake on his part. He wants knight c4 though. Oh, not bad. Whew. Have I blown it? Am I the jerk face here? I might be the one who's a jerk face. Queen e7, knight c4. What do I got? Oh no. All right, back it up, Kraai. I admit it when I'm wrong. I don't like to do it, but I admit it. Now queen g4 is a hell of a drug. Wow, this guy's working me. Oh my gosh. All right, go here. Now we'll give him a choice of which one to take. At some point, I really need to dominate his... Oh, gosh. This is just a yard sale. It's a yard sale, buddy. What have you done? Oh, and the knight c4 has continued to wreck me. Oh, my gosh. What have you done? Oh, jeez, please. Oh, this was... Of all the openings to lose to, please not this one. He can even play rook c8 here, boss. Okay. I didn't understand that one. Let's kick him first. He's coming around the mountain. I'm going to take him. Is he threatening anything? I don't know. I'm coming back. Good move. This guy's crushing me. All right, pop him. I don't know. I did not know. I'm in real... It's a real stinker right now. It's a real stinker. Jeez. It's a real stinker, baby. And I still can't play queen d2. Thank you very much. Oh, gosh. What have you done? I'd rather not lose this game. I'd rather not, my friends. I'd rather not lose this thing, okay? It's looking bad. It's looking a real stinkery. The stench level is high. Stench level extreme. Man. Stinking up the dojo. No, this stinks. Stench level extremitus. I'm gonna need some help from my little friend here to survive through this. He's got 1,000 times. He's got 1,000 moves left. I'm busted in 1,000 different ways. Oh, dude. Stinking up the dojo. Stinking up the dojo. Now he finds it. I don't know, my friends. That looks really, really bad. Let's go. That? Well, now he's just laughing at you, Bows. Now he's just laughing at you. I don't have anything. I've got a good move here, Bows. Move it. The sadness in my eyes. I lose this chump. That was a bad move. Now, could I somehow make it through dodge here? I don't know. Can he survive? Maybe. Dude definitely gave me more than he wanted to. This 3-2 stuff, maybe you can survive. Whew, he's going to check me somewhere. D4 is not a bad move. That was a bad move. Got him. Hoo-hoo-hoo. That's a check. That scared me. I'll admit it, boss. Okay, when you checked me there, I was like, oh, maybe he's got something. Oh, this guy. Oh, if you can't win this, back in the day, we'd say, if you can't win this position, boss, there's no position you're going to win. That's what we'd say. And it's true. Can't win this one, boss. You might as well hang it up. You might as well hang it up, buddy. Look at this. 3-2. I can play forever. 3-2, boss. Nice. Welcome to the dojo. I stole that guy's adrenochrome. That's how you get him, man.
There can be
only one. That was cold-blooded, dude. Now, actually, what happened? What happened? I had a great position, and I overestimated my play on the C file. So let's look. So positionally, this is a mistake because he is giving up the dark square bishop willingly. And for sure, I should have played knight f3 here. For sure, knight f3. Okay. Whew. Well, they're getting a little bit better, my friends. They're getting a little bit better. They don't have that guy. Maybe he. I don't know, man. I don't know. I escaped with one there. Definitely escaped with one. Now, when I face this, I think h4 is what you need. Because this is a remarkably simple plan for black. And right, castling, that was a mistake, bishop b3. Because now that bishop's in the way of the d file. Okay. Now, here's interesting questions. What do I do to this poor fool? Let me ask that question. I'm anticipating king b1, c4, and then he's got to go all the way back to f1 with the bishop. This looks bad. This looks bad for dude. Also, king b1, I could play knight b6. A little bit frisky. The problem with c4 is I give him the e2 square. The d4 square. That's just a good move. Good. This is just simple chess. Come on, Kraai. Come on. Don't get fancy on me. No need for the fancy pantsy. Ooh, I think that's a knight, boss. Whack. Unless he has bishop. No, bishop d4, I take on c3. That's it. Welcome to the dojo. Yobani from Cuba. Well, I told him I'd take, so I'm going to take. Question, do I play the modern over the perk? This is just a thing that I think for aggressive players is actually very good. Health teacher's business here. Yeah. Now, is it better than the perk? I don't think, honestly, I don't think openings, it's not helpful to me anyway to think about openings as being better than other ones. As long as it's a good opening move, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, this guy's saying that he wants to work me, and I was kind of hoping to work him, if you know what I mean. Well, maybe frisky on your part, Kraai. Okay, so I was thinking that knight b3, ab, bishop d4. You better work out through for you, buddy. Better be the right move order. That seems like it is. Whack. 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 Well, boss, that wasn't it, was it? You're down a piece. You're down a piece. You're down a piece, boss. You're down a piece. All right, we come. We attack. Minor pieces are a hell of a drug, dude. They just start taking over stuff. Yep, that's what they do. Now he's trying to organize a mate on me. Now, that's one thing, when you play the perk or the mod, you better watch out you don't get mated, son. All right, let's take this one, because we want to collapse El Centralo. I don't have any answers from here. Here, let's take something. Whack! Welcome to the dojo. All right, now we're moving on up, my friends. We're moving up. This stuff is very powerful. At least so far, no one's actually crushed the brass monkey. Okay, let's say that. I've had a couple difficult games against the Sicilian, but no one has cracked the brass monkey. And here, we haven't had a lot of experience with this yet. Boom. I could play d4 too. Boom. And this is the intention. So later, we're going to have knight e5. We'll probably play e6 for h3 first, excuse me. Oh, he just takes. Thank you very much. Okay. I understand. I understand the level of despair that you would have to feel about your life to play this position. I get it. I get it fully. Oh, let's sink it. Let's sink it. Why not, right? Oh, boss, you're going to allow that? You're going to let me sink it over here, bud? Maybe this isn't so dumb. He plays knight d7. It's not over. Which is a nice position, huh? If he got to get really frisky, he could think about queen b6. That's kind of hard to imagine, though. For a variety of reasons, hard to imagine. So, question is, how bad is it for black? Is it horrendo? Or just not very stupendo? Yeah, and should he be... Let's just say some obvious stuff. I got my unopposed bishop here, and I want him to move his light square pawns. I want him to give me a little love. But e5 should nevertheless be part of what he's thinking about. That's frisky. I'm going to say, don't say check to the queen, boss. Just move it on back, okay? Just move it on back. F5, bishop c2, we're doing fine. E5, maybe. Maybe e5. F6, it's a permanent weakening of the light squares now. And so bishop c2, b3 is just now on my agenda. Is he lost? No. It's just a nice position. You know what? I said I was talking smack about this, so let's just go do it. Whack. Just get out of the way, boss. All right. Wait a second. There might be a little tactico here. Bishop b3, king h8, bishop f7. Then he's got to what? Go bishop f6? Bishop g5. Let's give him a check first anyway. He's going to go h8, boss. It's not like it was a big choice for the dude. I really like bishop f7, but then bishop f6. And then what do I want? Boom. All right. Simple chess. This position is nasty for him. It's very nasty. Nasty, nasty girls. All right, the intenzione was definitely to put that rook there. And now I got several nice moves. Bishop h6 looks great. Bishop d4 looks great. Bishop f4 looks great. Seems like bishop h6 should be the call of the wild, huh? Bishop g5. Probably on a different day I would play bishop g5. Maybe that was more testing. Yeah, your moves are weenie, boss. You are like the captain. You're the captain of the weenie moves. Now that might be a technical problem for you, boss. You got the a7 problem and then the f4 problem. I'm just going to take my a7 problem. Now Renga here, he's like, Kraai, why do you always, instead of mating a fool, what you end up doing is you end up taking some stuff and it's very unsatisfying. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is my position. This is my position. Oh, I got everything here. All right, they said pin and, well, I don't know. All right, fine, I'll take it. Renga, for you, buddy. That's it for you, bud. I'll do that. Let's stink it. Sink it and stink it. Oh, don't talk about stinking it, boss. Don't talk to me about stinking it. C5, F4. What's the evaluazione? That was maybe an interesting move. Bishop C2 is a problem because of knight C4. Okay. That was a good move. Let's be a full weenie on it. Full weenie. Full for Renga. It's for you, buddy. Okay. Okay. Bang. Now, which way do we go? Let's tag a pawn. Now, we're going to try to teach you a lesson about the outside pass pawn, buddy. Will it be impressive? We're going to hope so. It looks like it's just gone. Run, Forrest, run. Well, okay. All right, we're going to put the pawns in the right colors. So now, so just give our king the e3 square. Simple chess. He's thinking about it. Kiki chess. Kiki chess thinking about it. Take queen and then rook e1 was winning. Pawn grubber mode, that's right. Okay. B4 looks like a hell of a move here. Check to the miserable king. Check to the miserable king. All right, now is there anyone speaking against king f4? You can always just play bishop e6. Bishop e6 tells him, boss, you can't move at all. There's no more moving for you, buddy. I'm sorry that you can't move your pieces anymore. It's not my fault. All right. Arvin, what do you want me to check, boss? What do you want me to check? Oh, he wants me to check. Well, what move was it? I'm sure it was possible. There was, I think you wanted me to take on e7 or something. So what? When I did what here? But I can't do it now. Rook e1 because of knight f3. But maybe you mean a different spot. There might have been some other taking queen that we're missing. Oh, I bet. But also here, if I take and I can't play rook e1 because of knight f3. So those were my chances to take the queen. Yeah, rookie. Yeah, I got the rookie one, knight of 3 pawn. All right, let's go again, my friends. Whack. We're at 1957. That's a hard road. These games haven't been super easy. It's getting a little harder, even though I haven't lost any today. There was one I definitely should have lost. Easy French. Welcome to the dojo. Okay, here we go. In general, a mistake. I'm going to take it this way. What's interesting there is DC is normally, if they don't take it immediately, then DC is often very strong. Right, okay. So this transposes into a different variation where it's, I thought, known to be a mistake that the queen's on b6. We're going to find out. Okay. Now, bishop e3 is a thought, bishop d2 is a thought. Let's go e3. Intention is rook c1, knight c5 stuff, and hopefully easy play. I'm not 100% on this. Let's bring her in. This is with the claim that queen b2 is nothing. We're gonna see. We're gonna hope that's true. All right, knight d3 is an easy one. A4 is a4 a thought. Certainly feels like a little thought. Yeah, the queen could get hosed over here. Oh man, is a4 winning? Oh gosh, is it winning? Is it winning? Is it winning? Is it winning? This is kind of crazy, but I'm going to just do it. In a real game, that's obviously something you calculate more, but my question is, boss, have you lost your queen? That's my question, boss. He's saying he is not. All right, spend half a second here, Kraai. I don't like thinking. It's not a pleasant thing. It's not something I like to do. But we're going to think for a second here. I think it's gone. We're going to see. Wait a second. So, wait, maybe he's hiding on A2 is the question. Let's go here first. Let's see where he's going. Because I can always repeat with the, if he goes A2. Maybe I've blown it. All right, here. All right, I was hoping that this would be a hassle in the castle. He's just going back to A2, boss. Do you understand this yet? Wait, do I understand it yet? What's that? There's a lot of these things are hard, man. These things are hard. Here. All right, boss. Slow it down. I need you to slow it down. So, queen b1 is an interesting move. But then maybe knight d4. Oh my gosh, this is complicated. Man. Also just taking the knight, and then we got our other problems, huh? And if I go bishop c1, he can go queen b4, and it's really more complicated than my life ever wanted to be. All right, let's go bishop c1. I don't know about this, buddy. I don't know about you and your grief and the things you tell yourself at night. It's hot. Very hot. I'm losing on time because of the stupid opening. Stupid opening. What are you doing to me? What are you doing? Oh, thinking forever. Well, boss, wasn't that the intenzione? Hey, buddy, that's a queen, boss. That's a queen, boss. Now, wait, he's got rook b1. There, he's got there. Oh, no, what have you done? Jerk face. God, I'm a jerk face. Oh. I do hate myself sometimes. Knight d4 is obvious. Obvious. I'm losing on time. The other obvious thing. It's just a yard sale. Yard sale. And bishop g5. I can resign. Oh, that was painful. I tried to trap the queen. Now, that's just a common thing that happens in Blitz, man. It's oftentimes better not to try to trap some dude's queen. All right, I'll resign. That was painful. That was my first official loss. I'm going to admit it. And how did it happen? I tried to trap the dude's queen. Now, let's go back and look at this. That was painful. That was painful. I lost to 1900 because I was trying to trap the fool's queen. Oh, painful. All right, I'll bring in LPGN over here. Oh, man. So, in general, the system move here would be DC. And that's what I should have done. However, it's still fine what I did, because I knew that this position was also great because his queen's misplaced and I get this free tempo. Fine. And b6 is frankly, well, it's obviously provocative. And what do I have to do? I just have to play knight d3 like a normal person. Okay? I just have to play knight d3 like a normal person. Oh, Kraai, I don't believe you, man. The other move actually here that's very spicy is knight b7 with the idea that knight d6 will later get his good bishop. That's also possible. Knight d3 we're going to call the system move. Oh, that was really bad. And also, let me just say, like Pruess, I've watched so many of the games of that guy, and the way he loses to lower rated is exactly like that. Like he's trying to knock him out with something fancy when fancy was not required. Is Nixon's in the chat, dude? Arturs would have just played knight d3. He wouldn't have thought about all that stuff, dude. He didn't need to be so fancy. Now, this is spicy. Here we go. Well, Arturs would play h6. Arturs would play g5. Is it hot? Yeah, it's hot. It's very hot. All right. I'm going to castle bows. Whoa. Odd. We're going to call that odd. Trading off his good piece. So, I'm going to take this thing. Does f4 win the day? That's a pretty fancy move, f4, boss. That is a very fancy move. Are you sure? No, I don't like f4. What are you doing? I don't like the way you played this, Kraai. I actually don't. All right. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. And why are you hanging the pawn on b? There you go. Just continue your dumb thing that you were doing, okay? Whatever dumb thing you were doing, just continue doing it, all right? The obvious claim is that his knight is hosed. That's the obvious claim. Now, can he play f3? Oh my gosh, this guy. Check to the queen. I'm going to say he can't take. That's what I'm going to say. He's playing down 2 pieces over there. He's down 2 pieces. Now, queen c6. Is that your way out of the jungle? Is it true that after queen c6 that I'm the one with the troubles? That would be terrible. That would be really bad if that were true. It would be unfair, if nothing else. All right, here we go. I am up 2 pieces, okay? 2 pieces. I didn't want to let him in. I'm going to just admit that. All right, let's take a pound. We're saying we're up 2 pieces. He's saying he doesn't care. So, Mr. Reese's Pieces, let's go over here. He's saying he doesn't care. That was a good move. Now I'm dealing with this other problems in life. I didn't want to be thinking about that. Darn it. I didn't want to be thinking about these problems in my life. I didn't want to be thinking about these problems in my life. That's just a dirty trick on my part. Well, boss, I get it. You did get my rook, okay? But in general, you have failed the exam. You failed the exam, boss, all right? Now, how do we end this fool here? Would we ever play bishop f3? Or is our bishop just too proud for that kind of talk? Probably too proud. Now, All right, let's just go back here. We need to move. I'm tormented by that last game, by the way. Tormented. Bring the bishop back, boss. He's going to play queen a6, guaranteed. Nope, not guaranteed. All right. He wants to play rook c1 on me. That's not very nice. All right. We'll come over, Grover. Yeah. All right. Queen b6 is el defaulto. El defaulto of El Rialto. What's his knight doing, bows? Maybe bishop f8 next? I don't know. Maybe king g6? I don't know. I'm just moving around. I'm tormented. I'm on tilt. I'm on tilt after that guy hosed me the last game. I got hosed, man. This is my repertoire. This is my safe space, okay? This is my safe space. It's not his safe space. This is my space. No likey. Me no likey. You might as well, boss. You might as well. Me no likey, me no likey. Me no likey, me no likey, me no likey. Queen b2, boss. Is that what we want? No. Bishop h5 first, please. All right. I'm going to make a claim that this is winning. I'm not 100%, but it's looking like 100%. Feels like 100%. If I get that big fat pawn on f2, man, that's a big one. That's a big one, son. Yep. It's a hell of a drug. Bishops. Bad pieces. Rengar's probably like, oh, Kraai does it again. Kraai does it again. All right, I'm pretty sure we want that. Oh, I just blundered. That's not that big of a blunder. The problem is, if he snips and snops on a5, then my bishop on g6 has more questions in its life than it really originally wanted. However, fe is a hell of a drug. As I said, hell of a drug. Yeah, that's a hell of a drug right there, son. Whack. Yeah. There she blows. That's it. Well, boss, I am now going to take your d4 pawn, and it ain't going to be pretty. Whack. Oh, that's a herder. His knight's still... Don't say the S word, okay? But we're going to say his knight is still terrible. He can give me an Irish pawn structure as revenge. Whack. Whack. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Don't stalemate him, boss. There is a possibility of me queening and then a stalemate happening. So my move, I queened, and they could go rook g7, and you could really laugh. So when I go e1, I gotta make a rook, boss, or I go check. And Mr. Pruess doesn't need to know how to do the mate in twos, but I did him, man. I did him. He's a master. All right, I'm still on tilt from that guy beating me. On tilt. Here we go. Green eggs and ham. All right, g6. Here we go. Here's a big question. I think we go here. We've seen this before. Yep. Now, maybe the computer would say that white's a little bit better here. Maybe. However, it is this beautiful position. I just blew it, though. I allowed... I just blundered my pawn, dude. Oh, I can't believe it. I blundered 95. What an idiot. Now, maybe on 95 I play rook e8 and the game goes on, but this is not what I wanted, buddy. It's just not what I wanted. Idiot. Don't lose control of the game, Kraai. Please. Idiot. I make my moves, Mr. Grooves, Mr. Grooves. I make my moves, I make my moves. Bum, bum, brum, bum, bum, brum. He's hurting my knight. Okay. Up. I bring it back. Good move, I think. I bring it back. I go out. Now, does he achieve something? I don't know. Wam bum 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 ba-dum bum ba-dum. He got a little frisky there. Yeah, I understand. How is it a bad thing that I'm giving away this bishop? We'll see. We'll see. Am I threatening a4? Probably not. Probably not. Whoa, that's a surprise. He wants a knight a4 me. No, it's not dumb. Not dumb. Well, if you want me to come in, I'd come in. This is a little bit easier for me on knight c5 because I can play bishop c8. He wants that. I don't know, maybe. It's true that my knight on f7 is not the picture of life and love that he wanted to be. His piece is a little bit confused as well. Oh man, how does my knight on f7 get to e6? Here we go. I have an idea. That's how it happens. Oh man, it's still complicated. You know what? Yeah, let's talk to it. The problem here is 96. He's got. Oh, I got a trick maybe. This might be a trick that's not good for my health, but we're about to check it out. All right, this might be bad for my health. I might have really blundered here with knight a8, king b8, bishop takes, king a8, and then h6, and I got to play knight d7 quickly. Quickly, I got to play knight d7. I don't know about that position, so I'll be up a pawn. What? I thought he was going to play knight a8, boss. Oh, I was right here, man. I was right here, and I was like, he's going to play knight a8, and I was ready for king b8. Oh, this is turning into a bad day, my friends. This is turning into a bad day. I just had to take the knight. And knight a8 was the better version for him. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is terrible. The tilt is beginning. The tilt. Man, I lost 2 games? No bueno, man. All right, we got to bring it now. This is terrible. I was supposed to have my second coffee by now. Here we go. Aggressive repertoire. I'm on tilt. Here we go. Come on. Where are you going to go, Bows? Queen d6 is El Natural. Part of this, too, is I haven't played Blitz in forever. And, did you just allow Queen e6? I did, and he didn't take it. Why? Boss, he's like allowing Rook b7. He's allowing Rook b7 is what he's doing. Thank you very much. That was kind of blundericious on my part. Ooh, that wasn't correct. That wasn't right. Well, at least we're getting a 1 or 2 easy ones. You want a rematch? No, boss. We're just playing whoever comes. All right? Here we go. It's time to hurt some fools. I need my adrenochrome. The adrenochrome hasn't been a healthy dose of adrenochrome today. All right, this is the dojo system against the Alyoshin. I can't pronounce it right. I'm sorry. That was a little surprising. That position is officially hot. I'm just moving my pieces, man. I'm just moving them. Yeah, all right, he's going to break with e5. How bad is it going to be? I don't know. Let's go. All I know, boss, is you need to play your e5 thing sooner rather than later. That's all I know. That's all I know. E5, knight d5. Looks like it. Seems like it should be. Hell of a drug. Right? Hell of a drug. I'm on tilt. He's tilted me from that last thing, man. Oof. Well, boss, if you want to curl up into a little ball, then you will curl up into a little ball. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay, so Let's go there. These positions are always tricky. So, right away you're getting hectic tactical questions like, if knight c4, can I play c6? Probably. It's always hectic. F5. Okay. Now, Mama said play rook a1 in these circumstances. So I think that's where I'm going. All right. Now, I was talking smack about c6. So let's rip her, buddy. Let's go, man. I don't know. It just looks right. You know? It just looks right. On knight b6, I have both knight b5 and, well, I got a lot of different moves, but c7, of course, talks to everybody. In a lot of ways, though, Mama said that what I should be looking for is the control of the square in front of the pawn. In front of the pawn. This looks pretty good. So I guess c7 and maybe knight a7 after that, you know. Maybe, I don't know what he's supposed to do. I don't know. It's hot, though. It's hot. I had promised myself I wasn't going to take a bathroom break until I hit 2,000. But I've been stinking up the dojo so bad. It's kind of rough, man. Kind of rough. Okay, that's maybe a reasonable move. Let's see what happens with that move. What do you want there? Well, boss, that was my intention. It looks pretty good. Oh, you're going to say you just give up the exchange? Maybe. Fine. No. If you don't like the exchange, fine. Well, you could have at least taken the pawn, boss. Boss, you could have taken the pawn. No pawn for you. You don't want my pawn? You're too proud for my pawn? Fine. You don't have to have it. No pawn for you. Probably a good move. A better player than me might have played GF, but I'm not that good. All right. Mama said just bring him in. Queen A1 also looks good. Let's just, yeah. We need him in. Whack. I'm not even entirely sure what I'm threatening, but rook b1, you know, looks like a good move. So, is he threats? No. g5? I don't know. It's true that my bishop on... Oh, man, I wish... I have some regrets about that. I don't understand. He's yard sailing. He says he's on a pure yard sale here. g5 was a little bit harder for me than I wanted it to be. Oh, I don't know, boss. I don't know what you're doing, man. Okay, I almost played bishop d5 in full blunder mode. We're going to try to avoid that. And we're just going to play simple chess. Whack. Well, boss, what is it that you're doing? Huh? What is it that you doing, boss? Mama said, take the square in front of the pawn. Queen a4, I'm just going to cold-blooded play bishop e2. And here, I'm going to go cold-blooded. Check to the miserable king. And check. It's not a check. Whew. Man, working hard for that second coffee. Fun Master Mike's here. Nice. Fun Master Mike, it was a hard day for the dojo aggressive repertoire. I've been blundering some pieces and stuff. Getting some, we up to the 1900 level. It's gotten a little bit hot. A little bit hot. And I'm playing James Altucher's Brass Monkey as black because I don't know what else to do. You know, I needed something aggressive. The openings for black hasn't been the problem. Oh, no, that's just generally not a great move. Well, that's not bad. I don't comprende C3. Let's just ask him then. If he wants it that way, he can have it that way. Bishop B3 would be the system move, I think. The system move. What are you talking about, buddy? You sound like a jerk face. Huh? You sound like a jerk face. All right. What is happening here? Can we just develop our pieces, son? This guy's got it. He's holding it together pretty good. He's holding it pretty good together. Oh, it's so complicated all of a sudden. Well, all right. If he wants to give me the space, we're going to take it, right? That's what Mama said. They give, I take. They give, I take. Definitely hot. Okay. I don't know if I want to qualify that as a relief, but it at least tells me what's going on here. Very hard for him to crack my squares. All right, we wanted to play that anyway. Now, is he going to try to set up some very fancy bishop g5? I mean, it would be very fancy if bishop g5 worked, but I don't think so, man. I don't think so, Baus. All right, let's square control. That's what they told me. They said, when you go to space school... I had a whole bunch of associations just went through my head there. When you go to space school, that's a new one for me. I'm going to start using that forever now. Space school. When you go to space school, you got to take away their space. They want to go to space? We'll send them to space, son. You want to go to space, kid? We'll take you to space. It's a hell of a drug when you have to go to space school. Oh, this man's going to space school. Holy moly. Bishop a6? I don't know. Bishop b7? I don't know. Let's put the bishop here for a second. It just seems annoying. I could have put it other places. Queen d7 would have been a fine move. It would have looked weird though, right? It would look a little bit more natural after bishop a6. Am I threatening something? I don't know. I don't know if I'm actually threatening anything. Okay? We're just going to let him figure it out. Because I don't know what he's doing. And once you go to space school like this, it's kind of rough. Oh, you guys, would bishop h6 work? Would bishop a6 have worked? Bishop h6, bishop takes d5. Queen takes d5, knight f6. Hello! Now at least I got my pawn for it. Oh, this guy's going to school on me. All right. Do I understand this? Do I comprende this? He's giving me a pawn. Okay, I understand. I do and I don't. I do and I don't. Now give me your bishop, boss. Give. This is all of a sudden a little hectic for Dr. Patectic. Let's just admit it. That tactic that I missed, that's not good, man. That's not good. All right, here we go. We are going to sink that bishop into d3. I don't know many things in life, but that's one thing I know. That bishop is going to d3. Whack. Now, b4 is what I anticipazione. Probably rook fc8. No, boss. So, what are you saying here? What are you saying with that move? All right, here we go. If he wants it, he can. He can have it. But these prices, they're not gonna last. We were anticipating 91 rook fd8, and it looks like pain. That looks like pain. There's no more the b4 stuff, maybe, but then bishop c3 is going to happen. All right. So is there a threat? Is there a threat? Just put your rook over here, Baus. Just put your rook over there, Baus. Wow, this guy's fancy. He is very fancy. All right, let's talk to him. We got the bishops, Baus. We got the bishops. I told you we had the bishops. Don't go queen g5. Good move. All right, let's talk to your rook. What? Okay, I'm going to take it. That was a good trick. That's a good trick, boss. But let me show you another one. I could take your rook, but I'm going to be kind and I'm going to end it early. I'm going to end her early. Whoo! Yeah, you want to go to space camp, buddy? A lot of these guys want to go to space camp, and honestly, you play King's Indian or the Modern or the Brass Monkey, you're trying to go to space camp, you know? Let's take this guy to space camp. Let's go to space camp, boss. This has been a hard speed run. It hasn't been easy. So far, no one's taken me to space camp with the Brass Monkey. That's just a weird move, h3. If you don't let my bishop go to g4, we're going to go the other way. Okay. I have some respect, not really, for that move. All right, let's do this. You see this in the King's Indian a lot of times. And then they go like that. Whack. Oh. I don't know. Did I want to do h6? I don't know if I actually did. Oh, I like this moment. I like it when we get the L dark squares. It's always a pleasure, Dr. Smeasure. All right, this dude just wants a bad position. Fine, he can have it. I don't got an attitude about bad positions. You know, I got an attitude about a lot of things, but bad positions. Maybe d5. You could try to survive a little bit longer. b5's kind of annoying. Oh, that wasn't it, boss. That wasn't it. I don't know. Bring your guys out. I don't know. Bring your guys out, boss. Take this thing. This is a dream. This is a dream. All right, boss. This is what I want you to do. Your bishop on b7 is a turd. Okay? Word, word, word. Look at your turd. But yeah, your other pieces, boss. We got to say, your other pieces are glorioso. Glorioso. All right, fix your bad one. Fix your bad one, boss. Just fix it. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. Don't hang your business. Don't hang your business. Domination of El Nido. We might play f5, but rook b8, rook, queen b2 is also a fine thing. I mean, f5 can't be wrong, right? f5 has got to be a hell of a drug. All right, Mama said protect your queen when they do that kind of thing. I did too. Good move. Good move. We'd rather not let him do his knight c4 game. Now, a3, maybe. Now, if I go a3, queen d4, we all know that Renga will have a fit. He will have a fit. All right, so that move, what? It prevents something. Prevents it. All right, let's bring that bishop here. No c4 stuff for you, bows. No. The answer is no. Okay, now, Intenzione was with El Pano. So no knight c4s. Sorry. I'm sorry your life is hard, bows. That's a piece. Welcome to the dojo. Yep. Woo. Yeah, space camp. Now he's pissed. He's pissed and he's just like, I want to run it out. I'm happy to run it out. I need a break, man. I'm going to go take a potty. We'll see what happens. I got to finish this thing. Oh, he still hasn't moved. I could have made myself a coffee in this time, man. I could have made myself a coffee, boss. Hey, Mineral. Oh, he says he's disconnected and he's reconnected. It's a sad thing to lose a chess game. All right, it's a sad thing when you blow your business, especially when you play a3, provoking me to ask myself where should my queen go, and then I say, oh, you know, maybe I'll take. How far will you try to get? Well, when I made my last, okay, so I've been off the blitz for a year and a half. It definitely shows in a lot of areas. I've been off the blitz. Dojo training program, we're not technically allowed to be playing blitz. Okay, so that's a bad thing right there. And am I a blitz addict? Does it bring out the worst in me? Yes. Yes, it does. So, how far will I try to go? Good question. I haven't resolved that question yet. I do need to figure out the line against the Sicilian. I feel like maybe even I'll go dark mode and do Eugene's course, you know? Maybe. All right, here it goes. This is exciting business right here. I blew it there. I don't know. Let's take it easy with saying we blew it. Oh, this guy's funky delic. It's an interesting move what you're doing, Bows. I'm just moving around, holding my center. Hopefully I don't get busted here. Now, do I castle long? I don't know. But I'll tell you what. It just feels like that makes sense to me now. But now Rengar's going to say I'm being a weenie there. And I do understand where he's coming from. However, yeah. Let's do that. You know, okay. This was my clever notion. I was going to claim that the bishop is actually poor there. We'll see. We'll see if this was a nice thing or not. I want to give him the slammer jammer. You know? I want to give him El Slammer Jammer. And, you know, honestly, that pawn on h4, that's a good pawn. He pushed me to h3 someday. Black's basically fine. Maybe bishop a6 was inaccurate, but still he's fine. Perk is a good opening, as far as I can tell. Yeah, I'm like queen d7 bounce, that one. Well, let's see what you want here. I definitely don't think you should take bows. Yeah. Now, I was thinking that a move like bishop d5 would be really annoying. Yeah, that looks annoying. Now, you should have played h3 long ago, my friend, but I guess you're playing h3 now. And the spice move here is for me to play g4. g4 is also, I think, unnecessary. Or maybe a computery move would be to snip on c6, snip on b8, snip on e7, and say, welcome to the dojo. Oh, that's controversial, but I'm going to do it. Whack. It's a claim that his pieces are bad. We're going to see. I might end up regretting this, my friends. I might end up regretting this. On rook e8, I'm going to play rook b1. Intermezzo. much. Now, do I want bishop g5 or bishop h4? For whatever reason, I thought bishop h4. Okay. He's saying, take my pawn. Now, I'm not a huge pawn grabber, but I'll take your pawn, boss. You want me to take your pawn? I'll take your pawn, boss. I'll do it, man. d5 coming. d5 coming. Welcome to the dojo. No, I don't think you got it, boss. I don't think you got it. That was hectic. That was hectic. I might go take a look at my file for after this. Black Lion. Man, the Black Lion. It used to be called the Philidor. And then Simon Williams rebranded that thing to make it sound like more like an animal name. We all know that animal names aren't good. Dragon being the possible exception, but the dragon is more of a mythical creature than an animal, you know? Arguably, the Black Lion is also a mythical creature, but you know what we're saying. Okay, so he wants to maybe bishop... I have some regrets, actually, Kraai, for you giving him that. All right, let's get out of dodge. What are you actually doing here, buddy, huh? Oh, he's playing the tricky wiki. He's playing the tricky wiki on me. All right, you want to play this way? You can play this way, bows. Was King H1 the manly move? We can have arguments about it. We can definitely have arguments about it. King G8 would be the man. No, King G8, Rook B8. Not no puedo. No lo puedo, buddy. Don't do that. All right, bishop takes. HG was possible. And I was just talking to you about Rook B8 bows. Whack! That's going to come as an uncomfortable surprise, huh? That's going to come as a stinker. The brass monkey, the horse opening. Yeah, and Kostya was actually making a case that we should have the horse opening, dude, as the black repertoire. And I was like, horse opening? No, man. We're not doing the horse opening, man. We got some pride at the dojo. The brass monkey, however, it's true. Now, it was Seth who branded that name, the brass monkey. Seth from the dojo. And unfortunately, it's an animal name. And animal names just have a really bad rep as openings. Here we go. We haven't seen this at a 1800 plus level in a while. Here we go, my friends. This is hot beyond all belief. And basically, our theory is that anytime he plays knight g4, he dies. All right, now I believe we have the nuts to play this move. Is it scary? Yes. Correct. Now, do I play bishop g5? I think so. This is honestly a little hectic for me. I might need a little practice. The bummer for him is how does he get out of the pin? Okay, good. Yeah. One way out. One way out is just to move the queen, bows. All right, I think I want to play this move. Queen d2, maybe more accurate. There's a hot position, no doubt about it. Very hot. Whew. Let's say the obvious. The thing about this for black, that move I didn't understand, is can he get the bishop on c8 out somehow? Doesn't matter how, just somehow. All right, here we go. Welcome to the dojo. G4, not only maybe G5, but just protecting F5 gives me like a feeling of well-being. If I'm allowed to call it that. A feeling of well-being. Yeah, I think he's gone, dude. Welcome to the dojo. Now, I might want to check my files after this game. Now, G5, of course, looks like, well, looks crushing, my friends. All right. Looks crushing. Probably it's crushing. Let's go. He needs a move. Unfortunately, it's just very hard for him to have a move here. Maybe bishop b4, intending bishop c3. Bishop b4, amongst other things, gives my rook the g1 square. And I can play rook g1 at any point, too. Just sacking the exchange. All right, as we said, it's the bishop on c8 is El Grief. Okay, here he comes for me. All right. Good move, Dr. Groove. I'm thinking too long about it, I'll tell you that. I'm thinking too long. All right, let's go. I'll tell you what I'm concerned with is some kind of takes on c3 and then takes on, and then d5, busting immediately. Should be better for me, for sure. If he's going to do it, he should do it right now. So d5 first, and then if cd, which I don't know what else I'm going to do, then bishop c3, queen c3, cd. And honestly, I think he's host, because I'm going to start just putting my stuff on the g file. I'm not going to take on d5 or anything wild like that. All right, boss. I told you I was going to put something over here, so I'm going to do it. Bishop h6 looks like a hell of a drug. Like a hell of a drug. It looks like an ouchie. It looks like an ouchie, son. That looks like an ouchie. That looks like someone got hurt. Now, he's so obsessed with that pin. Oh, I understand. The pin was hard. The pin was hard, my friend. But this is, in the business, we call this crispy critters. Yep. It's gone. It's gone, my friends. Chess with Steve, 92. Maybe. I could have. The 92, I was thinking about it. Knight d2 was kind of cool because I kept the queen got her lateral motion like she needs it here. The other thing about being so long off of blitz is, unless I'm telling you guys a story, I'm using too little time, honestly. With this 3-2, I'm realizing you can play forever, man. You can play forever on the 3-2. And, you know, I got up to 2,700, and I never did learn. I never did learn how to pre-move, man. No one ever taught it to me. There was DM Hokie. No, it was not DM Hokie. It was Mitch. He was promising me he was going to teach me how to pre-move, and he never did. All right, I'm going to take that thing. Maybe knight g4. I don't know what you're going to do about it. It's just a painful thing. It's just a painful thing, man. Ay, Chihuahua. Ay, Chihuahua. You might as well sack the queen, bows. Might as well. Check. All right, Kraai. Let's get this. Can we just finish it in correct Mundo style? Let's go queen e3. Just to ask. Just to ask the question. All right. And now Mama said, she always said stressed. She stressed to me. Bring that queen in, son. That knight wasn't a queen. All right. Bring it in. No, that's not going to be it, boss. I'm going to bring the knight in because Mama said. Now, something terrible is going to happen here. Check to the miserable king. All right, knight f7 is our default. We might have something better. Don't need anything better than that, son. Check to the miserable king. It's not check. But it is pain, my friend. Check. It's not check. Now I think we're going to play e5 like a madman. Make sure there's nothing weird, Kraai. Make sure there's nothing weird. Bam. Bam. Sorry, kid. All right. I still haven't figured out that pre-move, man. I had Lafong teach me some evil like tricks about playing like bullet and stuff. He beat me like 1,000 games to 1 in bullet, and I couldn't learn it, dude. It's a motion of the hand that you try to teach a boomer GM, and the people who grew up with the pre-move, they just don't understand where I'm coming from with it. They're like, what are you talking about? Oh, here we go, E6. Here we go. Simple plan here, simple plan. You put your bishops on D3 and E3 bows. I could take here if I wanted to. It's a thought, 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 it's a thought. Take it. We're going to play F4 next. Here we go. Here I come, just a walking down the street singing do what diddy diddy dum diddy do. Now, in knight d7, I got king h1 or f5. They both seem very reasonable. Let's go here. Now, in general, we want f5. Let's go. Let's go. I don't need to talk about this forever to know that you're in pain, my son. All right. Bishop f4. This one's going to leave a mark. Yep, that's going to leave a mark, son. Whack. All right, I know you're excited. Everybody's excited for you too, okay? Everybody's happy for you here, Bows, okay? But you need to finish this dude off. I think he should castle. That seems weird, but I think he should castle because bishop e6, queen h5 looks like a hell of a drug. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Bam! Take that shit, you fool. Welcome to the dojo. Yep, look at that. It's a pin. It's a pin, Bows. It's a pin. Everything's pinned. Oh no. Give me your points. I think that's it. I've reached 2,000. Bishop b5 instead of fe6 might have been better, but you get bad habits. You play blitz, But I just assumed as well, I think it's true, that there's no way he's living after castles. But you're right, bishop b5. I was so obsessed with this queen h5. This is so pretty. Everything's pinned. I had a nice game in this variation. It turned me on to just how simple this is for white in the U.S. Championship against Joel Benjamin ages ago. There it is. Have we made it? Have we made it? 2003. Welcome to the dojo. My friends, I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to come back this afternoon. Pruess, I was going to go yesterday afternoon, and Pruess stole it. He was like, we're watching Kostya's game. I was like, oh, I wanted to go speedrun. I need my adrenochrome. I didn't get hardly any adrenochrome today.